The audio also, na?
Hare Krishna, good evening, and namaskar to all of you. And welcome to this session number 29 of our weekly systematic study of Bhagavad Gita under the family of Gita Amritam Rasamalayam. And I'm very happy to be serving all of you today on this very auspicious occasion of Sri Nityanand Trayodashi. And we continue with our learnings from chapter number 4, Transcendental Knowledge, which is Jnana-Karma-Sanyasa Yoga. And we have done quite a bit of progress in this. But before we jump into the further verses, that is verse number 31 to 37 today, I just wanted to, you know, pay my respects and then mention a little bit about Sri Nityananda Rishi and take his blessings, because Sri Nityananda for all of us represents Adi Guru. So, we have to really, on this particular day, when we take the blessings, then automatically our entire Guru Varga, because ours is a Guru Parampara Sampradaya. So when we please Lord Nityananda, even the Guru Parampara is automatically understood to be pleased. So I hope most of you must have had a very nice celebration at home or in the temple or wherever nearby in the congregation. We also had a small celebration at home. We have Gaur Nitai, that is Nitai Sachisuta, and we did an Abhishek. The next slide, I shall share the couple of pictures of the Abhishek. But before that, it is time to also recollect that Lord Nityananda, who is none other than Lord Balram himself, and Lord Balram is none other than the first expansion of Lord Krishna himself, that is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in his incarnation as Lord Nityananda, he appeared to give his mercy to all of us in the village called as Ekachakra in West Bengal in the year 1474. So that's long time back, but not too long ago, considering that, in Kali Yuga, 5,000 years have gone by, but in this, it's only about 500 years or 550 years ago that Lord Nityananda appeared. And he appeared considered like, as you can see in the picture, like a white moon, so effulgent, born to in the womb of Mother Padmavati, the wife of Hadai Pandit, or Hadai Ahuja as they call. And he was like a rising moon, and who came to dispel all the darkness that was prevailing in the most of the parts of Bharatvarsha at that time. So Lord Nityananda is very, very, through his pastimes, he displayed his actual manifestation. And you might wonder, what is this famous Mahabharat photo doing in this Nityananda Trayodashi? So this photo of Bhagwan Krishna attacking Bhishma Pita with the wheel when Bhagwan Krishna was actually quite angry. And despite the vow that he had taken that he will not take anybody's side, he decided that he will take the wheel and attack Bhishma Pita. And then just at that, before he could attack, Bhishma Pita started praying, and there is a series of prayers. There's a chapter in complete dedicated to Bhishma Stuti in Bhagavatam. So the moment Krishna heard all that, he threw away this wheel, and it is said that this wheel landed in what is called as Eka Chakra. So this wheel represents like a single wheel, so Eka, and Chakra is a wheel. So that is how that village is said, that that's how the village got the name of Eka Chakra. So there are wonderful pastimes that the Lord has enacted, and of course we are not. This is not a session for the glorification or some Nityananda Prabhu, but we are basically trying to take his blessings, and then in the mood of serving the servants of the Guru Varga, we are trying to please Lord Nityananda. Because had it not been for Lord Nityananda, you know, who along with mm, Haridas Thakur, who along with Haridas Thakur went home to home, every home, and they were virtually begging everyone to utter the names of Gauranga. So they were singing this very famous song, Bhaja Gauranga, Kaho Gauranga, Leho Gaurangero Naam Re, Jo Jana Gauranga Bhaje, Se Amara Pran Re. That was the only humble request. So he set up a marketplace. He and Haridas Thakur, Namachari Haridas Thakur, they set up a marketplace to urge everyone to sing the glories of the Lord. Because Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself in the in the golden avatar, and so in that sense, because he gave this instruction, he is considered like the Adi Guru, and is you can say that he is also like a intermediary between Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and his devotee. So in other words, you cannot approach Mahaprabhu or you cannot approach Supreme Personality of Godhead without the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So you can understand the importance of Lord Nityananda. You know, it's easy to get attracted to Krishna. It's easy to get attracted to Radharani. But if we understand that how to get their mercy will be coming in place only when we get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So with this, and I also wanted to show some of the small celebrations we did. This our deities, Sri Sri Nidai Sachisuta. So you can see here the before Abhishek and thank you. And then during Abhishek, and they are really enjoying. So we did a small Abhishek, just both of us, Sundari and myself. And so this is what actually, so we seek the blessings of Sri Sri Nidai Sachisuta. And then we experience the presence of Nityananda Prabhu to Srila Prabhupada and our own Guru Varga, own Guru. So a pure soul, a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada is always attached to the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. As you can see in the picture, there's a lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu and Prabhupada is there. So it's like a living manifestation, you can say, of Nityananda Prabhu's love and mercy for all of us. And through Nityananda Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada gets the power and Shakti. And this is what actually he transmits to his disciples. And we are so fortunate to have taken shelter of one such wonderful disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who is also very dear to Nityananda Prabhu. His Holiness Bhakti Swarupa Damodar Swami Maharaj, Dr. T.D. Singh, who is the founding director of Bhakti Vedanta Institute, which is the scientific arm of ISKCON. And also he is the founder of Dr. T.D. Singh's Institute of Science and Religion. So there is one verse in Shvetashvatara Upanishad which says that if you have unflinching faith and devotion, in your Guru, as much as you have on the Lord Himself, that is Jasya Devi Para Bhaktir Yata Devi Tata Guru. Tasyate Katihata Ye Artha Prakashante Mahatmana. So what happens is if you have unflinching faith on your Guru, Just as much as you have faith on the Lord, then the Lord Himself or the Guru Himself, Guru, Lord in the form of His representation, that is Guru, transmits the transcendental knowledge into the heart of a sincere seeker. So I seek the blessings of my Guru so that I'm able to speak something that is useful for today's session. And we move on with this. So here we go. Our Goloka Express is fast running now, and Krishna is opening to us all the secrets of transcendental knowledge, and therefore we just love Goloka Vrindavan. And I'm also happy to see this picture. I mean, Goloka Express decorated by Anusha Mataji, and she sent me the picture. It is there in that small video clip which they have sent for the birthday celebration. So that looks so wonderfully decorated, and Krishna is the driver also in that Goloka Express. So we can see that we are all moving as a family, and we would be so happy, all of us as a family, we reach the destination of Goloka Vrindavan. I mean, so this would be the our dream, because imagine a place where every step is a dance, and every word is a song, and every day is a festival. That if it can happen, that's basically a Goloka Vrindavan, and that is what Srila Prabhupada tried to establish through ISKCON. So when we associate with the devotees, this is what we get in the bargain. Okay, so with this, I move on to the contents of discussion for today. So we are on chapter 4, and the acronym for chapter 4, as we have been telling in every session, is years. E stands for eternal education, that is what we are getting. Then A stands for accurate understanding, that is a proper understanding. R stands for removing reactions, and S stands for the sacrifice. There are different types of sacrifice. So we are in that section where the sacrifices are being described, and there are a few more verses remaining for the sacrifice, and then we come directly into how to receive this transcendental knowledge if you don't do sacrifice. So we will jump into that. Very quick recap. I'm not going to spend too much time on this recap session, because I think all of you are already quite well informed about it. So what we discussed in the previous session by His Grace Sham Sundar Prabhu was that the different types of yagyas, sacrifices. So one of them was Dravya Yagya, which is you surrender or sacrifice all your material possessions, charity. Then there is Tapo Yagya, sacrifice in austerity. Then there is Yoga Yagya, that is Ashtanga Yoga or eightfold mysticism that we practice to get the benefit. And then there is a Swadhyaya, Jnana Yagyas. That means you sacrifice by studying the Vedic scriptures. And then through this, we are trying to get our enlightenment by sacrificing in different ways, as we have mentioned. And as a result, we'll get the benefit. And then we discussed about one very peculiar verse, because normally Anushtup Chanda has got, typically in Bhagavad Gita, most of the verses have got 4 lines. So here it looks like it's got 6 lines, because Srila Prabhupada made some adjustments where today we'll be starting with verse 31 that has got only 2 lines. So the 2 lines have been pushed over here because the context is more of sacrifices. So in that connection, it has been moved here. So here you can see that different types of, that is, people who are interested in controlling their breath, and that is basically pranayam, and they are trying to uh, uh, remain in trance by practicing or offering the movement. That's incoming and outgoing breath, that is anulom vilom, what we call, or purvak and rechak, as it is called in technical terms. So they try to control this incoming and outgoing, that is Puraka, Rechaka. And in the process, the Prana Vayu and Apana Vayu, that is exhaling and inhaling, they try to balance it in between. So their goal seems to be to merge. The goal seems to be merge prana and apana, and with this they try to achieve sense control. And the whole idea of doing this is to increase the lifespan, because it is said that it is the number of breathings that we do that determines your lifespan. So some people breathe more, that they consume more, so they die earlier. Some people breathe less, they consume less, inhaling and exhaling, so they live longer. So by this process, this Purka and Rechaka, they try to control this and they increase the lifespan. But all this hard work is done just with the intention for sense control. And in Kali Yuga, with the passage of time and with so much of distractions, these things are going to become more and more difficult. So Krishna had already foreseen this in Dwapar Yuga when Bhagavad Gita was spoken, and he had already suggested some better ways, that is Bhakti Yoga, so that one becomes Krishna conscious, and then he tries to achieve sense control by engaging the senses in the controller of senses himself. That means Rishikesha Sevanam. So Rishikena with the Rishik, that is senses, you try to Sevanam, serve whom? Rishikesha. Rishikesha is the Lord himself, who is the controller of the senses. So when we do that, then what happens? And this is more practical. So basically, when we are Krishna conscious, we are focusing all our senses upon the giving the pleasure to the Lord senses, and ours is secondary. Our senses sense, so automatically the sense control happens. And this is what, if we do throughout the life, then automatically our goal of going back home, back to Godhead is achieved. Okay. And then, of course, verse 30 was also covered, where basically it describes about all these performers of the sense control. They know the meaning of sacrifice, and basically the idea is to cleanse them from the sinful reactions. And having tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifice, they advance towards supreme eternal atmosphere. So the goal is basically to go back home, back to Godhead. But then what happens is, in the process, uh, it's like a ladder process. They are going so slowly, so step by step, that they don't know whether they will achieve their goal in this lifetime or next lifetime, or after thousands of lifetime. So that is the difficulty, and plus it is a very uh, difficult process, not easy. To achieve anima, lagima, mahima, and prapti and all that, it's very, very difficult. Ashtanga yoga, hatha yoga, even to sit on a proper kushakaras, we find it difficult these days. So what to speak of doing all these kind of yam, niyam and all those things. Very, very, very difficult. So, however, this is a process that people who are especially yogis, they follow even now. Okay. But not entirely encouraged for all of us, because we are in the process of Bhakti Yoga. And Krishna himself says, it will come in the 6th chapter, Yoginam api sarvesham mad gaterantar atmana bhajate yomam shraddhavan bhajate yomam tame yukta pratama maha. That means my opinion is that the person who is worshipping me, that yoga, Bhakti Yoga, is the supreme, is the topmost. Shraddhavan bhajante yomam. That is the ultimate. Okay. Um, Okay, so ultimately, this process also leads to purification by destruction of all sinful reactions. Now, the question arises, we are in the verse 31, that is the first verse of the day. So, we'll recite this verse. So, what happens? So far we spoke about the sacrifices. Now, the question is, Krishna also says, what happens if one doesn't perform those sacrifices also? Because if you do sacrifices, he has explained what are the good things you are going to benefit with, and what is your ultimate destination. But if you don't perform sacrifices, then Krishna says what are the other, what he will get and what he will not get. So that's also important. So here he says, Nayam loko astiya yagyasya kutonya kuru sattama. So it's a two-line verse which I was mentioning earlier. So the sixth line verse was in verse 29 where the pranayam was discussed. So the first two of this was pushed there by Prabhupada because that makes sense. So here we are discussing about a different section where uh, Krishna is answering what happens when you don't follow or don't perform the sacrifices. So, O best of Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice, one can never live happily. This is what he says. O best of, so Kuru Sattama, the best of Kuru dynasty. Without sacrifice, that is a yagyasya, one can never live happily on this planet. That is Nayam Loko Asti. One can Nayam. You can never be happy on this planet. Then Kuto Anya Kuru Kuto Anya. So that means what then what to speak of the next life or the life after that. So here we have to understand that why would somebody you know not even offer sacrifice, and what is his goal? Because Krishna has mentioned the verdict: without doing sacrifice one can basically you're incurring more of sinful reaction, and then if you don't do sacrifice you also try to do some sinful activities also in the process, because it is completely like Srila Prabhupada mentions in this verse purport. He says ignorance is the cause. So he says that ignorance is the cause of one's sinful life. And then the sinful life is the cause of dragging oneself into material suffering or material life. So the starting point is ignorance. So if you are ignorant, you will not do sacrifice. So it's like a vicious circle. A person who's in ignorance, he will commit sinful activities. And then when he commits sinful activities, he will degrade, and when he degrades he will drag himself more into the ocean of material existence sufferings. And then when this happens, then he enters into more ignorance, the more tamagun will come, he will reject the shastric verdicts, etc. And then when that happens, more sinful activities he will perform. So this keeps on happening, and there is no hope for such a person who is ignorant to come out of that. But at the same time, there is one loophole we all, can be proud of. And that loophole is that only in the human form, see, there are 8.4 million living species, correct? So in that, human beings or human form is just one form. So only in human form, out of the 8.4 million species, is that there is a possibility to end this vicious cycle of, material entanglement. So we have to congratulate each other because we have taken birth as human beings, and more so, we have got into a civilized human beings. We are not, asuras. Even asuras are human beings, so we are not in that mode. We are devotees, or we are in the devotional path. So really, it is very good, and so we understand we should not be ignorant, and because if you are ignorant, then you are similar to animalistic form, because animals are doing basically four activities: ahara nidra bhayamaitunanja, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And other than these four, they don't know anything else. And they eat well, they sleep well, they fight well, bhaya, and then they also mate well. So basically, these four activities, a person, ignorant person, he will also do the same activities. But then what's the difference? So human intelligence, what we have received, because we are human beings, is meant for higher inquiries, higher purpose. We are supposed to ask, what is the goal of life? Hmm? Am I supposed to do this only, or am I supposed to do something different? So this goal, this thinking, inquisitiveness will eventually lead us to ask higher questions of life. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. That is what the first aphorism of Vedas say. So, This, therefore, is an opportunity to break the cycle. So Vedas are also teaching us how to break this cycle through the four pillars: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. You do dharma, that is proper, follow proper religious principles, and then you in the process, when you follow proper religious principles, like then you get artha, economic development, economic progress. And if you have follow dharma and artha, then you get kama, that is you follow sense gratification but in a regulated manner, not in a uncontrolled manner. And if you follow dharma, artha, kama properly, then eventually you can get moksha. So, and there's a proper procedure given, like dharma solves our economic problems, like food, milk, etc., by following a proper religion. Like, follow it properly, whatever is given as per prescribed religion, you follow it, and then automatically artha is taken care. That is, economic needs are taken care. And then, of course, uh, then one can try to satisfy the senses through sacred marriage in a regulated way, and instead of going in unregulated gratification, because unregulated sense gratification will lead to sinful reaction and will drag us down further. And then, of course, when karma is also satisfied, then the person says enough is enough. Now he looks for higher goal of life, and then he tries to ask inquisitive questions, and he seeks for liberation. And the Vedas provide all the ways for progress in this consciousness. But the question arises now: who has the time to go through all this step-by-step process? Especially in Kali Yuga, where we want to have everything very fast, right? From fast food, to everything is quick. Technology is so fast, so we have no time to wait. So when this is happening, we have no time to follow dharma, artha. So in the process, what happens is people are focusing, they are forgetting dharma, they are forgetting thing, they are focusing only on kama. Somebody's mic is, I think, unmuted. I don't know who is that. Let me check. I'm hearing some sound. I think now it is fine. So modern man, he wants to get artha, that is, he wants to be rich, he wants to have wealth, and without following dharma. So dharma ko bahar rakh ke, we try to follow artha, and then our focus is entirely on kama. So this karma will give us limited happiness because you have got wealth, whether it is through non-dharmic procedure also you may get some wealth, but then you will not get happiness because it is ill-gotten wealth. So you may get karma, but it will not get happiness. And then for such a person, transcendental knowledge will always elude. And also, in one sense, you will be called a thief also, because a thief is a person who's trying to get everything what he doesn't really deserve. So here, for example, without doing sacrifice, I am trying to grab the things. So that in that sense, I become thief. So therefore, such a person is bound to suffer life after life. So that's not a good proposition. So primarily, then we go to the next verse. That is, next verse is verse number 32, which describes the purpose of different types of sacrifices. Okay, so the purpose given is there are many sacrifices given in Vedas. So the verse is Evam Bahu Vida Yagya Vitatha Brahmano Muke Karmajan Viditan Sarvan Evam Nyatva Vimokshase. So Evam Bahu Vida Yagnya. Evam Bahu means different types of yagya. Bahuvida, different types of yagya or different types of sacrifices. Vitata Brahma Mukhe. So Vitata Brahma Mukhe means like it's spread, emanating directly from the mouth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because he himself is the compiler of all the Vedas. Vedesha Charva Amaheva Vedyo. So he is the knower of the Vedas, and the objective of learning Vedas is to know him only. So he is the compiler. So everything emanates from his mouth. It is coming from Brahma. who is his direct representative, but ultimately Vitata Brahmo Mukhe, Brahmano Mukhe. Then Karma Jan Vidhi Tan Sarvan. So Karma Jan Vidhi Tan Sarvan means all these so-called sacrifices, that is Bahuvida sacrifices, are born out of uh, different types of vidhi or different types of work performed at different levels. So Karma Jan. So different types of work that one does. When one somebody will work through kaya, that is body. Somebody will work through vacha, that is speech. Somebody will work through manasa, mind. That's why we say body, mind, words, BMW. So different types of people perform different types of sacrifice. It is like, I'll give you an analogy. Let's say when a person goes to the doctor, okay, for himself, okay, he's going to the doctor for himself. Now, do all the patients get the same medicines? No way. No, depending upon the disease that each person is carrying, the doctors will prescribe the appropriate medicine and also the dosage. Similarly, there are different types of workers. So these different types of workers are having different goals, like different medicines, are given in the form of so these different goals for performing these different goals for getting these different goals, they perform different types of forms of sacrifice. So these sacrifices are mentioned in the Vedic scriptures. Hmm? And so when someone performs just like the Vedic scriptures are recommending for them, then such a person will get elevation. And if he is rejecting it, or the person is following in a very concocted mind, hmm, or a speculative mind, then he suffers. That is what it means. So there are different types of prescriptions in the Vedas, and most importantly, we should understand that also there are different medicines for different yugas also. For instance, for um, what is that? For Satya Yoga, Kriteya Dhyato Vishnu. So for Satya Yoga, the result, basically the form was meditation upon Lord Vishnu. And then in Treta Yoga, Tretayan Yajato Makehi. Somebody's mic is on. Kindly switch off the mic. 1 second. I'll just check whose mic is on again. Okay. Now I've switched off the mic. So Kritaya Dhyato Vishnu, and then Tretayam Yajato Make. That means in Treta Yuga, the form of worship or the sacrifice was basically Yagya. Yagya means performing sacrifice. Dwapare Paricharayanam. So in Dwapar Yuga, it turned to be worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, which is available in the temples. So that's why people were following. So temple worship that we are doing now is actually the spillover from the Dwapar Yuga, because our Kali Yuga is only 5,000 years old. So when the span of Kali Yuga is 4,32,000, the initial 10,000 years would have the spillover with the previous Yuga. So we can follow that also. But what is important is Kalo Tad Hari Kirtanad. In Kali Yuga, the medicine is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Kirtanya Sadahari. Because that is very important, because for every Yuga there is a medicine. That's why Sukhdev Goswami also highlights this point to Parishad Maharaj in the 12th canto. He says, Kale Dosha Nidarajan Asti Hi Eka Mahan Guna. That is, in the entire Kali Yuga, it is full of dosha, but there is one Mahagunan. What is that? Kirtanad Eva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Brajet. So in this Yuga, when you perform Hari Kirtan, then definitely we'll get moksha. And that is the ultimate in Kali Yuga. That is what the scripture says. So let us see what the translation of this verse says. So all these verses all these different types of sacrifice are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born from the different types of work. So knowing them as such, you will become liberated. So this we have understood now, different types of sacrifices which we have already gone through. But our focus as devotees or as bhaktas is primarily to follow what is the medicine for Kali Yuga, and the medicine is Kirtan. Okay, so with this we go to the next verse, verse number 43. So 43, Krishna finally once again hammers the point that all these yagyas or sacrifices that he has described till now ultimately culminates only into transcendental knowledge, Jnana Yoga. Okay, so he says, Shreyan Dravya Mayad Yagya Jnana Yagya Parantapa Sarvam Karma Kilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate. So now Krishna is telling us, you know, what is the ultimate goal, and what is the also within the sacrifice there is a hierarchy. So he's actually trying to explain to us what is the hierarchy, which sacrifice is considered to be on the lower side, and which sacrifice is considered to be on the higher side, and which is the highest. So this is what he is trying to explain. So when he's saying parantapa, parantapa means oh chastiser of enemy. That means he's addressing Arjun with a beautiful adjective parantapa. How much we would love if our guru gives us such nice adjective. Whose hand is raised? I'm just seeing somebody's hand is raised. Oh, it is here only.
आपका हैंड है.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I'll just. How did this hand? How did this hand go up? I can't even see the icon now. So many things are open.
Gone now.
It's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is still there. I'm able to still see. 1 second. I'll try to. Hmm. Not able to. I can't. Anyway, let's move ahead. So Parantapa, he says, "Oh, chastiser of enemy." I was saying that if our superior counselor or our guru, addresses us with such a nice superlative adjectives, we would be full of ego. Our ego will be further puffed up. That's why our Guru is also very careful in not giving us things which we don't deserve. But here, because Arjuna is fully deserving, Krishna is addressing him as Parantapa, O chastiser of enemy. Jnana Yagya is Jnana Yagya. Jnana Yagya Shreyan. So Jnana Yagya Shreyan is something like Jnana Yagya is better. Shreyan is better. Something that is superior. So what he says, Jnani Yagya Shreyan, Drava Mayad Yagya. So in other words, he says the sacrifice performed through Jnani Yagya, that is knowledge, is superior. Krishna is saying, is superior than Drava Yagya. Drava Yagya is what? Sacrifice of our material possessions. That means somebody wants to, sometimes our ego is high. We might be on the devotional path, but we are quite wealthy and we want to do some nice donation, and then we want our name to come somewhere. So that's still on the lower side, because somewhere we want to satisfy our hidden ego. Outwardly it might look that we are doing service, but this the moment you give sacrifice of some possessions, it's like you want people to know how great you are. I mean, I'm not saying all of them are like that, but it is generally a thing that is associated with such thing. But at the same time, we should understand that such things are, a very good deed. It is not to decry people who are giving charities and all. It is just that such people should be also cautious. It should be done completely ego free. There should be no ego. I mean, the goal should be that I'm sacrificing, like His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj says, it is not how much you give donation that matters. It is how much is left behind. That is what is matters. So beggar might give from his bowl of 100 rupees, he might give 1 rupee. That is considered to be far better for him compared to a rich man who's got a millions of rupees and he gives maybe 1,000 rupees donation. So it's all relative. So sarvam karma akilam partha jnane pari samapayate. So this is basically all the sacrifices. Ultimately, Krishna says culminate into jnana. That is pari samapayate. That is वहां पर समाप हो जाता है. So let's see the translation. What so, O chastiser of enemy, that is Parantapa, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than mere sacrifice of material possessions. We discussed this. After all, O son of Partha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. So there's a beautiful lesson that Srila Prabhupada teaches all of us through his purport in this verse. He says that there can be only three purposes of any sacrifice. And the first one he says is to arrive at the status of complete knowledge. That is jnana. That is the first thing that any sacrifice must do. Second thing is he says is to gain release from this material bondage or material miseries. Somehow we want that release to happen. And thirdly, he says ultimately this sacrifice should lead us to engagement in the loving transcendental service or transcendental loving service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is nothing but Krishna consciousness. So this is very, very important lessons that, learnings that Srila Prabhupada gives us through this purport. And so therefore, there are different levels of understandings, because somebody who's simply giving material possessions without knowledge, then what happens is when you don't have knowledge and you make sacrifice, you will remain in this material platform. You might advance materially, but you don't get any spiritual benefit. That is the problem. Ultimately, when you get knowledge, you want to advance spiritually. That is the whole idea. You want to progress in spiritual life. If sacrificing a material position can give you advancement in spiritual life, then that is well and good. Whereas here, what we understand is when you sacrifice material positions, like you give 10 rupees, you will get back maybe 100 rupees. It will make you more richer. And then when you give 100, you may get 1,000, 10 times. So you get back material benefit, no doubt. But such sacrifices, very limited chance that they bestow spiritual benefit. Unless you are really giving it for some real purpose, like say, like Srila Prabhupada was in dire needs of Lakshmi to make temples, because the need of the hour was to spread the Krishna conscious movement. So whoever could give Lakshmi or could help him to do that to different ways, Prabhupada blessed them, and he said that this person will go back home, back to God. So that is a different proposition. So we should understand that ultimately all this, whatever knowledge, we try to accumulate, it has to culminate into Krishna consciousness. And that is the highest stage of transcendental knowledge. And there are different levels of knowledge, as we know. First level, this all from Bhagavad Gita. First level is we are not this body, we are spirit, soul. That's a basic level. Second level is who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if trying to learn, then establishing a sambandha with him, the sambandha between Jivatma and Paramatma. You can realize in three levels. And then once you establish sambandha, what is my duty towards Paramatma? So basically to revive my eternal position. And that leads to Bhakti Yoga. So that is the highest transcendental knowledge. So that's why there are different kinds of, prescribed method like Karma Kand, Jnana Kand, and then also Bhakti Yoga. Depending upon if somebody is in a body platform and he wants to enjoy all the material benefits, he can do the sacrifices and do Karma Kand. If somebody feels that, oh, these material positions are all just temporary, I want to progress beyond this, then he comes to Jnana Kand. He realizes that I'm not this body, but I'm a spiritual soul. I'm a supreme being, spiritual being, sorry. And then, so he tries to follow the Jnana-Karma. But if somebody wants to go beyond that, what is use of all these material things? Because with my body, all these material positions also will vanish. So I might as well do something that is directly spiritual, all the time serving, so that I can get a direct entry into the spiritual kingdom, back home, back to Godhead, back home, back to Godhead. So therefore, that is the way one tries to perform. So depending upon one's conscious, there are different kinds of prescribed methods of sacrifices, and the hierarchy is given by the Lord Himself in 4.33. And as I said before, Krishna again emphasizes in the sixth canto, sixth chapter, which will come later, Yoginam api sarvesham mad gate antarantmana shraddhavan bhajante mam shraddhavan bhajante yo mam tame yukta tatamo mama. I'm not getting the last line clearly. Shraddhavan bhajante yo mam. What is that last line? Can somebody remember? I'm not remembering it. Let me clearly see here. Yes, yoginam api sarvesham madgaterantaratmana shraddhavan bhajanti mam shraddhamam bhajante yomam same yuktatamo mata same yuktatamo mata. That is my view, my opinion is that the one who is practicing bhakti yoga unto me, surrendering everything unto me, worshipping me, manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyajya mam namaskuru. So one is fully doing that. That is the topmost sacrifice. So for us as practitioners, this translates into Krishna consciousness or chanting of the Mahamantra and serving the holy name and serving the devotees who are pure souls. All right. Now we come to verse number 34 and we change the gear. So far, the sacrifices were leading, we understood the sacrifices and we understood where this is leading to ultimately transcendental knowledge. But now there is a process of getting this transcendental knowledge in a very simplified way. And that process, Lord understands that in Kali Yuga, people are very lazy. People's the lifespan is very, very short. We are less intelligent, less fortunate, quarrelsome, and also, misguided, disturbed in mind all the time. So therefore, he mercifully gives us a shortcut process. Hmm? As it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prayena Alpayusha Sabya. That means all of us have short age in Kali Yuga. Kalavasmin Yuge Jana. In Kali Yuga, we all have short Ayush, that is age. Manda Sumanda Matayo. Manda Sumanda Matayo. We are completely ignorant, less fortunate. Manda, less intelligent. And Manda Bhagya, less fortunate. Manda Bhagya. He Upadrutaha. So disturbed mind all the time. So when we are in this situation, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to go by step ladder process and then get stuck somewhere and then see no light at the end of the tunnel and then give up the process and again, like snake and ladder, go back to zero? No. So Krishna is giving us a very, very simple solution. This is one of the most popular verses in Bhagavad Gita, one of the most important verses in Bhagavad Gita. And I'm sure some of you might be knowing this by heart. If not, please memorize this verse because this is very, very, should be in our dashboard. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadyakshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So he is giving a three-step process for attaining jnana. From whom? From a guru, from a bona fide guru. So primarily he explains about what and how. Hmm? How to, what, that is, what means the process of surrendering, and how? By inquiry and by service. And then he says, so the translation is, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The service, the self realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So, this is the essence of this particular verse. So, three things we'll quickly see. Step one. Step one is what? So, he explains what to do, how to answer. What is what? Tadvidi pranipatena. So, tadvidi. So, he's saying just try to learn the truth by approaching a bona fide guru. And then what to do? How? How means basically pariprashnena. Enquire from him submissively. The transcendental questions, transcendental topics. Without, that is with complete. It means first you surrender, and then you can. So when you approach the guru, you are surrendering to him. And then pariprashnena. Enquire from him submissively. And then sevaya. So sevaya is rendering service. So these three things, when you do, then what is the result? Upatekshanti te jnanam. The guru, he can, if he is pleased, he can impart the knowledge unto you directly. So it can transfer from heart to heart. The knowledge goes, and then how it is possible for me to do it? Because he is jnaninas tattva darshina. He is a self-realized soul who has already seen the truth. So this shortcut process is the ultimate methodology to an easy methodology to achieve transcendental knowledge. It's like an escalator process. Why to go through the all this step by step ladder process? So Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that the path of spiritual realization is quite a difficult one. No, but that is when we say that, we say that bhakti, but bhakti is easy to perform. So the path of spiritual realization is basically a big process. In that, bhakti is one of the process, a multiple process to go through spiritual realization. So we say practice bhakti, that is very easy process. So generally speaking, spiritual realization is very difficult. That's why people give it up. But when you follow bhakti, it is very, very easy to do that. So therefore, we have to fight our inner, demons. We have got a lot of demons like the six anarthas within us: kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mad, matsarya. And these formidable forces, they want to keep us the slave of theirs, and life after life we keep serving them. That is their goal. And as a result, we never find a guru. On the other hand, if we can get a guru, then all these things will be easily removed. Because the guru, has got a very responsible job towards us. Very responsible. Not everybody can become a guru. So the relationship between guru and disciple is very, very sacred. You know. So Srila Prabhupada says that when you meet a guru, first of all, he says that don't follow blindly and don't ask absurd questions. It has to be like perfect questions, perfect answers. Prabhupada has written, no? So that is what actually we have to do. So now the question says that some people, they are reluctant to surrender to guru or even select a guru. They say that, well, Krishna has given the knowledge through the book, and I have a direct relation with Krishna through this knowledge that is given in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and etc. etc. Then why do I need a guru? And at the end of the day, this guru could become a barrier for between me and Krishna. So why do I need a barrier? So this is the mentality of some of the people who are reluctant to even surrender unto a guru. Hmm? So, so such arguments will take place. So therefore, my question to them, or generally we should ask such people such questions that, okay, sir, you feel guru is a barrier, you have got all the knowledge, you have got all the knowledge readily available through the scriptures. But then there are there's a there's a student, there are two students. One student says, I'm an engineer from IIT. Very good. He has studied from IIT. Another student says, I am also an engineer. Are Baba, from where you have studied? No, no, no. I have studied from the engineering books. I don't need to go to any institute. I have studied from engineering books. So, what is the value of that engineer? What is the value of that degree that he has possessed? There's no degree actually. It's his claim. Whereas here, you have an engineer from IIT who has got a degree and who has been properly taught and nourished by his teachers. So that is the basically the job of the guru, because a guru is primarily not a barrier. He is somebody who removes this barrier, and there is no barrier. He basically, the barrier is our ego. So guru removes that ego between us and Krishna. So guru's role is, he doesn't come in between us and God, but he removes what is in between us and God. And that is the wall of our own false ego. That is what the guru does. So, because a guru is a realized person, fully in transcendental knowledge, and not only that, so this is different from the bookish knowledge. He's a realized person. So, therefore, we have to select a guru, and this not only that, you have to select a guru from a bona fide sampradaya. So, he becomes a bona fide guru. So, such a guru is called a bona fide guru if he is from a bona fide sampradaya. Krishna says he has given knowledge in 4 sampradayas. One is Shri Sampradaya, that is through Lakshmi Devi. Another is Rudra Sampradaya, that is through Lord Shiva. Then Kumara Sampradaya, that is through the 4 Kumaras, the 4 sons of Lord Brahma. And then the fourth Sampradaya is Brahma Sampradaya, that is through Brahmaji. So, all these 4 received jnana or knowledge directly from Krishna. So, ISKCON follows Brahma Sampradaya because now, Krishna and Balram, they appeared in Kali Yuga as Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So, Gauranitai, so ISKCON is basically, and they re-established. They re-established Sampradaya. So, this is basically Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So, in that ISKCON is following. And so, this is very, very authentic and bona fide Sampradaya. So, if a guru is selected from this Sampradaya, then it's a bona fide guru. Now, on the other hand, if the guru is not belonging to any of these 4 sampradayas, then he is not bona fide and he is liable to be rejected. Even though he may be having knowledge, but that knowledge doesn't mean anything because it has got no meaning. He is not from sampradaya. He is a self-made, self-styled guru. So, guru adds 1 to your name. You are basically, we are just basically 0. If you add 1, 0 becomes 10 before the 0. He adds 1 before the 0. And if you're 0, 0, then if you add 1, you become 100. So that is what Guru can do. He removes the barrier that comes between us and the Lord by crushing our false ego. Because the Guru can chastise us. The Guru can take our examination. He can test us in different ways. So that's how actually crushes our ego. So, in summary, for this particular verse, we can say that there are 3 underlying principles. One is prostration, basically complete surrender. That is Dandavat, we say Dandavat Pranam. So, Dandavat means falling down. The moment you select a guru, bona fide guru, you are supposed to fall at his feet. Just like Dandavat means like a danda. Just fall down straight. And then no intellectual attitude is going to work. So you have to, only thing that will work is humility. You have to approach and surrender to the guru with full humility. And reverence and obedience. Obedience is most important. And Krishna himself showed by example by studying under a guru Sandipana Muni. So that shows that even the Lord has led by example. So when we approach a teacher for receiving instructions, then we have to follow the teacher's bhav. We cannot disappoint the teacher. We are supposed to please the teacher. We are supposed to understand his mood. Then only we can grasp what is in his mind, and then we can follow his complete instructions. And the second underlying principle is inquiry. So this inquiry should be in a very, very humble way, not in a rude way, not in a way to challenge the guru, not in a way to show off your knowledge, not in a way to like express our intellectual prowess. No. So it has to be done very, very, it's a genuine, like from heart to heart. Like I've come here to learn something and I'm helpless and I want to surrender to Lotus. So please guide me, oh Guru, please guide me. With that mood, when we discuss with the Guru, then the Guru will be giving us the knowledge. Because he's got the Guru who is carrying Krishna with him. Krishna dite paro, tumhari shakti acha. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, what is that? Krishna se tumhara, Krishna dite paro. That means Krishna is yours and Krishna is with you. Tumhari shakti ashe. That means you can give the me that Guru through your power. You have got the power to give him to me. That should be our acceptance when we accept a Guru. And we should not test our Guru. A Guru can test us. We can be illiterate before the Guru, and yet we can be qualified to pass the test. The one best example comes to the mind is illiterate South Indian Brahmana in Srirangam, who was been criticized and ridiculed by all the other Brahmanas because he could not read or write, and he was keeping the Bhagavad Gita upside down. But when Mahaprabhu went during his South India tour and he saw this Brahmana crying and he found out the reason why he was crying, he was amazed to know that his reason for crying was because he could not bear the sight of the picture where Krishna, the Supreme Person of Godhead, Bhoktaram Egatapasam, has agreed to become the charioteer driver, Partha Sarthi, for Partha. So when he understood that mood, immediately Mahaprabhu understood that this poor Brahmana is not illiterate, but he is the most advanced transcendental knowledge he is possessing. And the third underlying principle is service. So we must render, virtually like menial service. And this we can do only when you accept that you are the biggest fool before the Guru. You might be a PhD in academic, but when you try to serve the Guru, you are the biggest fool. In that mood, when we try to serve, render a menial service without showing our credentials or ego, then, and even if required, if the Guru says clean my toilet, clean the toilet. There are disciples of Srila Prabhupada who cleaned his toilet, who did body massage for him, who washed his plates. In fact, the best guru is Narad Muni. Narad Muni in his previous life was a servant, was the son of a maid servant. He was not a Brahmana, the son of a maid servant. But as a 5-year-old boy, he cleaned the plates of the Bhakti Vedantas who stayed in their house for a few days, and he attentively listened what they are speaking. So when he cleaned the plates and he fell at their feet, and he did that repeatedly, the Bhakti Vedantas were so happy with him that they bestowed full blessings upon him. And that's how the next life he became Narad Muni. And Narad Muni became the ultimate guru for many, many liberated souls like Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, and so on. So many people. So therefore we have to remember that Guru is always compassionate. Guru is here to rescue us. He has come not for his own welfare. He's been sent from the spiritual world just to rescue us, the fallen souls. So the key to go back home, back to Godhead, is to satisfy the Guru. And Guru will be satisfied when you follow these three underlying principles follow properly. So this sum and substance of the verse number 34. Now we come to verse number 35. यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यस्यसि ये एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतानि अशेषानि द्रक्ष्यसि आत्मनि यतो मयि. It's a very good verse, because from this verse, you can say till the end of the chapter, Krishna. So initially Krishna spoke about the sacrifices, and then what are the methods for sacrifice, then the shortcut process for getting the benefit of sacrifice, that is transcendental knowledge through Guru. Now he says, what is the benefit, the glories and the benefit of such a transcendental knowledge, that is Divya Jnana. So from verse 35 till verse 42, that is the end of the chapter, it is all about the glories and benefit. So in this verse, Krishna really talks about the benefit. So first of all, he says, Na punarmoham. Na punarmoham is what? No bewilderment of Maya. So yat jnatva means the person who is in transcendental knowledge. Na punarmoham. No bewilderment of by Maya. Then second thing is Drakshasi Atmani Mayi. So such a person is bestowed with Drakshasi means pure vision. What he is seeing? Atmani Ato Mayi. Atmani means he sees that each and every person is part and parcel of the Lord. And Atho Mayi means he understands that everybody belongs to Krishna. All are Krishna. Krishna himself says Mayi means Krishna is saying. So here Krishna is reiterating that it is me. Krishna says to Arjuna, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and everybody is belonging to me. And such a person who's got a transcendental knowledge understands this perfectly. So Prabhupada actually explains very nicely in the purport again that what is the essence of this. So I wanted to do a small exercise, but then there is no time. I will not do the exercise now, but because it's already 8:15, I'll skip the exercise part. I'll directly come to the explanation part. So here we should understand that basically Prabhupada is telling us that when everything is connected to Krishna, Mayi, Atmani and Mayi, then only we become free from Maya. So Maya means that which is not connected to Krishna. So something that is false. Ya. Ma means not, and Ya means this. Okay. So that which is not is Maya. That means if you associate yourself with the body, you are not this body. So that is Maya. And other extreme of Maya is Mayavadis, who know that they are not this body, but they think that they are God, Supreme Personality. Because we are part and parcel of the Lord, but we are not Lord. You would understand. We are part and parcels only. So we cannot be thinking that we are God, and we cannot be thinking that we are this body. These two extremes are not good, but we can think that we are servants, part and parcel of the Lord, and we are servants of the Lord. So, in fact, in the best way to understand this is, there is something called as spiritual mathematics. See, in material mathematics, 1 minus 1 is 0, 1 plus 1 is 2. Whereas in spiritual mathematics, 1 minus 1 is also 1, and 1 plus 1 is also 1. That is Purnam. So in Sri Upanishad, this is stated that Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Purnasya Purnamadaya. So that means from Purnam only Purnasya Purnamadaya. That means what is coming out is also Purnam. So therefore, qualitatively we are Purnam. Qualitatively, that is, we are Atma. Atma means we are Sat, Chit, Ananda. And Krishna is also Sat, Chit, Ananda. Paramatma is also Sat, Chit, Ananda. We are also Atmas, we are Sat, Chit, Ananda. So qualitatively we are Purnam. That is, if you pick a drop from the ocean water and you check it chemically for properties, same property, no difference. But can we call the drop as the ocean? We cannot. A drop is a drop. Drop will remain a drop only. So Mayavadi says the drop is an ocean. That's the difference. So we are not Mayavadis, and we understand clearly that we are part and parcel. But qualitatively, we are same as we are Purnam. But quantitatively, Krishna is Vibhu, that is infinite, and we are Anu or infinitesimal. So, for example, Krishna is seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. He can know exactly what each one of us, 8.4 million species, is thinking all around the world, the material universe, in spiritual universe also, all over, everywhere, because everybody is under his control. Whereas we don't know what is going on in our own mind, what to speak of what is going on in other person's mind. So we cannot be equated to Krishna quantitatively, but qualitatively we are same. So when we get purified and when we shed everything, our material mind becomes spiritual mind, our material ego becomes spiritual ego, then our material intelligence becomes spiritual intelligence. Hmm? Then automatically the all these material elements, that is earth, water, fire, air, ether, which we are made of, including the senses, everything gets dissolved at the purified stage. Then we are in the glowing, pure Satchit Ananda situation. That is the stage when we get entry into Goloka Vrindavan. So we are like spiritual particles, but our form is Satchit Ananda. And then we want to serve the Supreme Personality, Jivara Swarupe, Krishnera Nityadas. So therefore, we must understand three important underlying principles again from this. So here the translation says, having obtained the real knowledge from self-realized soul, you will never again fall into such illusion, Maya. You will never fall. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are part and parcel of Supreme. In other words, that they are mine. That they are mine. So here, Prabhupada, the same thing is explained here in the thing. The whole teachings of Gita is targeted towards this end. That is, we are living beings as eternal servitor, cannot be separated from Krishna and his uh, his sense of being as an identity apart from Krishna's called Maya. That means we should understand that we are the eternal servitor. We cannot be separated from Krishna. We can never be separated from Krishna, and our sense of identity is always part of Krishna. The moment you think that you are somebody apart from Krishna, then that is called Maya. Okay, and we have forgotten this. That's why we are now practicing bhakti. So bhakti is a process that helps us to once again revive this lost identity, the lost relationship, and as a result, our lost connection with Krishna. So once we can establish that, then we go back home, back to knowledge, back to Godhead, and that is perfect knowledge. That is perfect knowledge. We go to verse 36 now, and this is also very, very important verse as far as glorification of knowledge is concerned. Api chedashi papebhyah sarvebhyah papa kritamah sarvam jnanam plavenaiva virjinam virjinam santarishyasi. So api chedashi. Apichetasi means even if you are papebhyah sarvabhyah, that means of all the sinners, you're a sinner, and of all the sinners, papebhyah, papa krit tamaha, you're the worst sinner. So imagine you are part of the big sinners and you are the worst sinner. So Krishna says, apichetasi, even in this situation of being extremely sinful, jnana plavena eva, jnana plavena eva. That means by using a boat of spiritual knowledge or transcendental knowledge. Huh? So the boat that is spiritual knowledge is full of potency that is giving the identity of Krishna, the identity of Guru. The Guru is also there as the Roman in that boat. And Brijinam Santarishyasi, what it means is with this boat, with Guru as your Roman, you will be able to easily cross over the ocean of material miseries. Ocean. Imagine ocean you are able to cross. So what Krishna says in essence is that even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross the ocean of material miseries. So, what, in other words, if you have transcendental knowledge, then the power is so much that it destroys our sins completely, regardless of what sort of sins we have committed in the past. So, it's such a hope-giving verse for all of us, isn't it? Very much hope-giving because we are all sinful. Let's face it, we are all sinful. Otherwise, we will not be in this material world. If we said somebody says, I'm not committed any sins, he is ignorant. But Krishna is giving us hope in this verse that even if you are sinful, apiche, you are still going to be saved. So, material world is full of, sinful people, sinful reactions. So, Krishna is once again establishing this point that transcendent knowledge is so powerful. Hmm? Otherwise, this samsara davanala, forest fire, it's like a forest fire. And we are all suffering in this forest fire. So unless someone comes to our rescue, you know, rescue with a rescue boat, we have no hope at all to be freed from this forest fire. You might be an expert swimmer, but imagine if you are dropped in the middle of the ocean. You are an expert swimmer, and you are told that you come to the one side of the shore. You will swim, 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 but you will never able to reach the other side of the shore. You will be exhausted and you will automatically perish there itself. So this is exactly our plight. We are trying through our own endeavor and we will never succeed. The best example that comes to my mind is Gajendra, Gajendra Moksha Leela, where he tried through his own endeavors for more than 10,000 celestial years, dear devotees, to free himself from the clutches of the crocodile. He could not. Finally, through choicest prayers, he surrendered to the Lord and he could not sing, but he remembered from his previous life as King Indradumna and remembered all the prayers. And just he picked one lotus and he was invoking the Lord through prayers. And immediately the Lord sat on his Vahan Garuda and actually chastised Garuda. Hey Garuda, you're flapping your wings so slowly. And Garuda, you can imagine, is the fastest in flapping the wings. All the Vedas come out when he's flapping the wings. And then he left Garuda at some point of time and he went faster than Garuda to reach on the spot, the same spot where Gajendra was in misery. So, so therefore it's very, very important to take the ashray of the lotus feet of the Lord or of the Guru. Samashrataye padapallavam Mahat padam punya yasho murare bhavam budham yo bhavam budirva sapadam param padam yad vipadam natesham samashritaye padapallavam plavam. That means a person who accepts the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, Mahat padam. Of whom? Yasho Murare. Yasho Murare is Krishna who killed the demon Murari. Bhavam Buddhir Vatspad. So all his miseries or the ocean of miseries will now be contained in Vatsapadam. Just like a hoof print of a calf. It will become so tiny that Padam Padam Yat Vipadam. So he will be rescued from the situation which otherwise is padam padam na vipadam. That means the material world. So if you take shelter of the lotus feet of Vishnu, Krishna, or the representative, bona fide representative Guru, then this is our hope. That is what actually it means. And therefore, Jnana Plavena Vijitam Santarishi. The best example that comes to the mind is Srila Prabhupada himself. Imagine he converted all these hippies, who were not having any devotional qualities, and he made them into devotees. Like a miracle, he transformed each and every one of them like a touchstone. So, you can see here how he's teaching them. So, first he transformed them, then he made them devotees, and he made them dance. So, every step is a dance, and every song is a kirtan, and every day in Prabhupada's presence became a festival. So, that's how actually he purified them. And we are at their mercy. So we can cross the ocean. We have hope to cross the ocean of miseries. That is Vrijinam Santarishyasi through Jnana Plavena. Okay. Then we go to the last verse of the day. That is verse number 37. That is, it goes like this. It also destroys all the sins. So this is another benefit of this transcendental knowledge, Divya Jnana. Yata Yata edamsi samido, no, sorry. Yata damsi samido agnir. Yate damsi samido agnir. Basmasat kurute Arjuna. Jnanagni sarva karmani. Basmasat kurute tata. So here, primarily, what we see is that the translation is as the blazing fire turns firewood to ashes. As the blazing fire turns firewood. So blazing fire is basically Samvido Agnir. As the blazing fire turns firewood into ashes, Bhasma. O Arjuna, so the fire of knowledge, that is Jnana Agni, Sarva Karmani, what it does? It burns to ashes all the reaction. Sarva Karmani Bhasma Sat Kurute Tata. It burns to ashes all the reactions of material activities. So here the underlying thing is all the reactions. So we should understand that when we do pious activities, we get pious credits. When we do impious activities or sinful activities, we get impious credits. So both are having reactions. So it is not enough to say that I've got only positive credits, I don't have negative credits. Either way, you have to take birth again, because to wash off this positive and negative credits, pious and impious, it is possible only in the material world. So you have to take birth again, because this is a world of dukhalayam ashasvatam. It's a world of miseries. So even the plus or minus, whatever it is, we'll have to undergo. So whatever reactions are there, sometimes it may be coming out, sometimes it may be in our stock. So for example, it says that when we get transcendental knowledge, then this spiritual knowledge takes us beyond this misery of material world and gives us elevation through elimination. So what does it elevate? It elevates our consciousness, and it eliminates our impurities. We have got a lot of impurities, as I said, anarthas. So when we would transcend this through transcendental knowledge, then automatically we go beyond the material miseries. So that is sum and substance of this verse. But it's important to understand what are the reactions, because these reactions are actually different types of reactions, which we'll quickly go through. One is called aprarabdha, then prarabdha, kutam, and bijam. So all this, when Lord says that all these reactions will be burned by fire of transcendental knowledge, so that is what bhakti is all about. Everything will go. So aprarabdha is, when we have committed a sinful activity in the past life, and it has not yet manifested in the form of sinful reactions. So then these reactions can come at any time. So they are temporarily stored somewhere, maybe in a in a bank, let's say karma bank or somewhere. Just like how we say store our money in some bank and there is a deposits available there and you have not withdrawn the money. Okay, so similarly, that particular reactions from the bad karma or sinful activity is not yet manifested. That is aprarabdha karma or unmanifested reaction. It is just stored somewhere. And then there is prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma is that which is already manifested, that is predestined. For instance, now you have withdrawn the money, not entirely, but some part of the money, and some part of the money is still in the bank. So the money that you have withdrawn is in your hand. You have encashed it, and that cash is with you. So this is prarabdha. So whatever you have withdrawn from the aprarabdha is a prarabdha karma. So certain things we say are predestined. Not all of them, some are predestined. Like the birth, the death, how much money one would make, then how many breaths one would breathe, which spouse one would select, then what sort of children or kids he would get, how much grains he will consume, whatever grain. So all this is predestined. That is coming from prarabdha. But everything has got a junction mode. So some things are fixed, some things are not fixed. And at some stages, we need to take a call at that. And that is basically sometimes we use our free will, which Krishna has given us, to take a decision. So whatever decision of free will we take, that sets course for the next prarabdha. It can happen in this life or it can happen in the next life. So you can choose from the available decisions based on whether you're in knowledge or whether you're in ignorance. And Kutam and Bijam are so the balance that is stored, that is the aprarabdha that is stored is still Kutam. It is still Kutam. So what that happens is that has a tendency, it gives in the form of a tendency. Some people get a tendency. Like for example, let's say somebody was a drunkard in his previous life. Now, what happens is he may not be a drunkard in this life, but the moment he sees favorable circumstances, like he sees a group of people drinking and enjoying the drink, he gets the tendency is revived once again because he was a drunkard in the previous life. So that kutam is now slowly coming back as prarabdha and will tempt him, will sort of tell him to now, oh, why don't you try to drink? And he wants to experience that. And that is bijam. So conversion of the tendency into a desire becomes bijam. So we are driven by these four, and if we are not in knowledge. But the moment we come to knowledge, then Krishna says all these reactions completely are burned by Jnana Agni, the fire of transcendental knowledge. Then why worry? And that is what bhakti is all about. We are practicing bhakti, which is automatically creating this Jnana Agni, and it is slowly and steadily destroying all these reactions of our past. And plus, it is preventing us from doing any further impious activities. So we want to bring our slate to zero in pious and impious and then have the credits of only spiritual activities to our account. That means we are staying in material world, but we are doing spiritual activities, then automatically we are qualified to enter into spiritual kingdom. Hope this part is getting clear as I'm explaining this. So that is what actually Krishna says in verse number 37. With that, I'm ending today's session and we'll spend next few minutes in our usual fun time, that is quiz time. And I open the floor to everyone. So kindly be attentive and try to garner as many brownie points as possible. I want to see more people participating in this and try to. There has to be a good competition today because the questions are quite simple. And let's see who is going to win today's session. Are you ready? All of you are ready? All right. So let's start. So the cause of one's sinful life is Your time starts now. Deep-rooted conditioning, free will, ignorance, not performing sacrifices, all of the above. Yes, Saptadeep. I think who raised hand first, Prabhu? Was it Saptadeep or Sridinidhi?
Marginally faster, Saptadeep.
All
Hmm.
right. Okay, Saptadeep, please go ahead. Can't hear you. Okay, you have to unmute. So, deep rooted conditioning, free will, ignorance, and not performing sacrifices. What is the cause of a sinful life? Is that so tough that only two people have raised the hand? Yes, Saptadeep. Yes,
Can you
Srinidhi, you
hear me
want to?
now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, actually, I had some problem in my earphone.
Okay,
Okay, never
no
mind.
problem.
Uh, Hare Krishna.
No,
Anantakotadi Janatnam
you're
Prabhuji.
all set, all set. You can hear. Yeah, Dandat Pranam.
Yeah, Dhanatmanam to everyone. Yeah, it's option C, ignorance.
Think carefully. Sometimes it can be tricky as well. I'm giving you a hint, but it's not a. Don't go by my. I can misguide also.
I'll stick with option C.
See, are you sure?
Yeah, ignorance. Yes,
Are you
Prabhuji.
sure? Are you sure you don't want minus 50?
It's okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, great, great. That's the spirit I'm looking for.
Yeah,
So the correct answer is C and D. Because see,
okay.
we learned all this about yajna. The yajna is leading us to transcendental knowledge. Okay. And
Okay,
ignorance is definitely the reason because through ignorance we are getting sinful life because we have not performed anything in the past and we are not performing anything in the present. But when you get knowledge, you want to perform sacrifices, yajna. So if you perform
yeah,
yajna, if you have performed yajna, then the sinful reactions or life would not be there. All right. So it is
okay.
C and
Okay,
D. Okay.
okay. Thank you. Hare
Now we go
Krishna.
to the but good attempt. But since you said C, it will not be minus 50. You will get, I think, uh, so it will be what? 25? No,
25.
25, no? 25.
Yeah.
हरे कृष्णा
Yeah.
प्रभु जी इसमें मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है प्रभु जी इसी में क्वेश्चन था व्हाई इट्स नॉट ऑप्शन फ्री विल इज शुड बी आल्सो कॉज ऑफ द सिंफुल लाइफ
No, the thing is, see, free will is basically who asked you to, okay, in the free will, you have an option of choosing between ignorance and knowledge, correct? So in
यस
free will, you have an option to choose between ignorance and knowledge. Knowledge means performing sacrifice. So
यस
suppose if I choose through free will that I want to be ignorant, it is your decision to be ignorant. If you choose through free will that I don't want to perform sacrifices, then it is your decision. Okay, so therefore it can be a not the right answer. So free will can be like uh, either way. Free will can be either way. Whereas
यस
if you say that I am ignorant, I don't want to follow this, then that is a clear cut answer that I am heading towards sinful life. That's a clear cut answer. I am getting reactions. Is it clear?
यस प्रभु जी इट्स क्लियर नाउ
All right. Okay, we'll go to the second question. Hopefully, this is not as confusing or tricky as the first one. The performer of sacrifices in knowledge, the performer of sacrifices in knowledge should be considered more advanced than those who simply sacrifice material possessions without such knowledge. Wow, Krishnamurti Prabhu is already. Is it Prabhu? You have raised your hand now, or it's a previous time? Okay, अभी खाली अनुषा का हाथ ही दिखता है मुझे. ठीक है. So the answers are one, A, because material benefits are temporary since body is temporary. B, because material benefits are real knowledge for advancement. Because sacrifices in knowledge break the cycle of birth and death. Because sacrifices remain on the material platform and bestow no spiritual benefit. Okay. And third is all of the above. Okay, there are a lot of hands raised. So I think
Anusha
Anusha.
needs to be first.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Anusha. Again, think carefully. This is not an easy question to answer. I agree. But if you have understood the essence, then you will be able to answer this perfectly. The performer of sacrifice in knowledge should be considered more advanced than those who simply sacrifice material possessions without such knowledge, because A, B, C, D or E. Yes, Anusha, you can unmute and answer. What happened? You're not able to unmute? Can't hear.
Anusha, can you unmute?
Okay, you want to put in the chat box then?
I think she got disconnected.
Or maybe some internet problem. Okay.
Mm.
So who was the second? Was it Ramesh ji or was it Srinidhi?
Ramesh.
Yes, Ramesh. Yes, Ramesh, go ahead. Can't hear you. You can
Oh,
go ahead.
yeah, very much. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
B.
Because the material benefits
Hello,
are
sorry.
B, yeah?
No.
No, what is the answer?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. I think he's not able to hear us or what?
No,
Am I
I'm
audible?
able to hear you. Sorry.
Yeah.
What
So
is the
yeah.
answer?
D for doctor.
Oh,
Acha.
D. Okay. Because sacrifices remain on the metal platform and bestow no spiritual benefits. Are you sure?
Partly, yeah, I think so.
Partly.
Yeah.
You want to take some time or shall I lock D?
You can lock in. We shall proceed. Other people will be waiting. It is
Okay.
not fair otherwise.
Very sporting of you. Thank you. So I will see the answer now. So the answer is A, C, and D. We have never had this kind of an answer before. Three answers. A, C. See,
Correct.
because material benefits are temporary, you should understand one thing. See, the performer of sacrifice and knowledge should be considered more advanced. Why? Than one who simply sacrifice material possessions without such knowledge. Because material benefits are temporary and since body is temporary. So that is inferior knowledge. B,
Mm.
because material benefits are real knowledge for advancement. That is not the correct answer. That is a false answer. So we are looking at true answer. Because sacrifice and knowledge break the cycle of birth and death. Yes, that is a true answer. And the D, because sacrifices remain on the material platform. That is, we are talking of transcendental in knowledge, and then bestow no spiritual benefit, which you also said. That's also correct. So A, C, and D are the right answers. Sorry, Ramesh, you're losing on this, but you made a very good attempt to answer
No,
this.
he's getting one right, na? D is
One
right.
Yeah, one right.
So
So
1/3 of 50.
that is too meager, but still we'll give him 15. We'll give him 15 or 20.
Right. 20 will be more
Yeah,
generous.
because 20 will be generous because it becomes 1/3 of 60 then, but it's okay.
Yes.
We'll give 20.
Done.
So somebody has to make a note. Srinidhi I give it to you to make a note. So our Krishna Keshav Prabhu got Krishna Mohan Prabhu got minus 50, isn't it? First.
Yeah,
And then Satyajit got plus 25.
25.
And now, no. How come we are in question 2 then?
Yeah, out of 2 answers, he gave 1 right answer. Na?
No, but I am saying question 2 here.
Yeah.
Is it question 3? That means?
Actually, Prabhuji, Krishna Mohan Prabhuji didn't answer. I mean, he had a
Ah,
query, he asked you.
Correct, correct,
Yeah,
correct.
okay, okay. So the first question was answered by Satyajit,
only me.
Yes.
Satyadeep. So he got plus 25. And now for second question, Ramesh got plus 20. Okay? Right. Okay. We move to the third question now. The process of attaining jnana from any guru is, again, tricky. See the answers. Surrender unto him. Already see some answers. Okay, Saptadeep. And who is that? Krishna Mohan Prabhu has raised.
Krishna Mohan Prabhu.
Inquire from him intellectually. Render service unto him. Seek more knowledge from him. None of the above. Quite tricky, not as easy as it sounds. The process of attaining jnana from any guru is surrender unto him, inquire from him intellectually, render service unto him, seek more knowledge from him, none of the above. Yes, who was the first? Was it? Maybe I'll give Srinidhi a chance this time because she has raised last 2 times also, but she was not among the fastest
She was
fingers.
not the first.
Yeah. Okay, Srinidhi, your
Give it
turn.
to her.
You deserve to win. Let's see.
Prabhuji, option A, surrender to him, render service unto him, option C, and seek more knowledge from him, option D.
Yeah, sure?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Don't try to force fit answers.
Yeah, correct. That's right. So, as I said in the beginning, this is a very tricky question. So, the answer, you'll be shocked with what I'm going to show now, the display. Srinidhi, where are you? You're there?
Yes,
She got
Prabhuji.
disconnected.
Okay.
No,
The answer is E, none of the above. Aren't all of you shocked? Why it is E? And aren't you?
Any guru, it is not right guru. You should inquire whether it's the right
Ah,
guru, bona fide.
that is the answer. That is the point. Who said this?
Ramesh.
Wow, fantastic. You are so one has to be very alert. So here the question itself is saying any guru. I cannot pick a guru who is from a non-bona fide sampradaya. No, that is not on. We discussed almost 20 minutes on this 2 slides that I showed, whereas emphasizing on bona fide guru, bona fide guru, bona fide sampradaya, what are the 4 sampradayas? So it's very important. I know, Sridhi, you know the answer, but this was an oversight. It's just by oversight that you missed the fact that it's been mentioned any guru. But Ramesh was spot on to catch it. I'm tempted to, just, I don't know, for this purpose, at least give another 10 brownie points to him. I don't know if Shyam Sundar Prabhu allows it. Because
In
he has
fact, we
caught
could give him 50 marks.
No.
Bonus 50.
No, that would be too much because he's not participated in. He actually participated, but we could not select him for answering it. I think his hand was raised.
And if he has given the right answer, he gets away full marks.
Yeah, but then what happens is we open a new approach to the question answer session. Tomorrow, somebody else will say, I knew the right answer, but that person said wrong answer. So I knew the answer. If you had given me a chance, I would have also given the correct answer. Then it goes on. So here, because I asked the question after the answer was given, does anybody know? Then he answered. Maybe I'll consider 10. So from 20, he becomes 30. But it's good to get this 10 marks also. Very good. Very attentive. All right, we move to question number 4. This would not be as tricky as the previous one, I assure you. Having obtained real knowledge from a bona fide guru, okay, bona fide was what is used here. One gets benefited, such as he is no more bewildered by Maya. He understands that all living beings are part and parcel of Krishna. No hands raised until now. Surprising. Oh, one is raised, two are raised.
3, 4.
All right. Okay, let's see now. He understands that all living beings are eternal servitors of Krishna. He cannot be separated from Krishna. All of the above. And maybe, I think Krishna Mohan Prabhu. What do you feel, Prabhu?
Yes.
Yes, Krishna Mohan Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Cannot be separated from that. It's E, all of the above. Uh, I think B and C is B and C are the confirmed, but his no believed often real.
Your doubt is on what? A?
Yes, if he obtain the real knowledge,
Hmm?
A is also included. He cannot be separated. It's all above. Prabhuji.
Okay. This is a good thing to tax our brain also, and you've done a good thing by questioning each and every answer. So shall I lock on E?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sure, na? No regrets, right?
Sure, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. चलो देखते हैं अभी. And the answer is E. Very good. So Krishna Mohan Prabhu wins beautifully, 50 marks. Now we go to the last question of the day, and that is coming on the screen. Jnana Plavena, simple question, means forest of transcendental knowledge. Srinidhi has already raised her hand. I'll give this to her. Boat filled with ocean of miseries. Boat of transcendental knowledge. Fire of transcendental knowledge. None of the above. Yes, Srinidhi. You raised first.
Boat of transcendental knowledge. See.
Only C, na? No other answers.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Shall I go ahead? Confident, na?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. And the answer is C. Great job. Wonderful. Wonderful. So 50 brownie points to you also. With that, we come to the end of the presentation part. Its time is around 8:50. It is, I think we have gone over time substantially. I'm sure some of you might be having some reflection, but I would request you to post it on the group. If that's okay? Okay. Unless somebody wants to just quickly do a 1 minute reflection. That's okay. Not beyond that. All right. So no hands raised, which means people have to probably think and give an answer. So feel free, take your time today, tomorrow, whatever, and try to post what has caught you the most in 31 to 37 of today's session. Okay. So we end the session here, and we shall meet again next Saturday. And so hopefully, so Prabhuji, you will be ready for next session or you're traveling?
No, Prabhuji, I'll be traveling.
Okay. So we will see who is going to give next session. It's because I'm also traveling to Guruvayur, so I will not be able to probably log in also, depending upon uh, the network. So I will probably invite a guest speaker for next week.